students, to Unit 3. In this chapter, in this unit, you need to read Layman's Chapter 4. And in this chapter, the whole chapter is about informal fallacies. And informal fallacies are fallacies in our reason that aren't related to the form of the arguments, but more about the nature of what is said in the argument and how there's bad reasoning happening there, where what is being argued and how it's being argued does not lead to the conclusion of what one is arguing for. So some of these are, Layman divides these up into three categories: fallacies of relevance, fallacies of ambiguity, and fallacies of unwarranted assumptions. And so fallacies of relevance are ad hominem, which is argument against the person, offering arguments against the person and who they are, their character, rather than arguments against or responding to the arguments that they have made. And then there's straw man argumentation, where the argument that is being responded to in the way that we're responding to that argument is not dealing with the actual argument that someone made, but is building a straw man of, or a false construction of, their argument in order to attack it. So we're really not responding to or offering an argument for something in response to someone's actual argument. We're building a straw man from their argument and not actually responding to their argument. Then there's appeals to force, where instead of providing a response to someone's argument or position, one just appeals to force and says, well, I will take you out, and if you don't accept my position, my conclusion. So we're appealing to force rather than our argument being valid and sound or strong and cogent. There's fallacies of ambiguity, where we equivocate. So there's equivocation, where we are equivocating on terms in our argument, where terms mean two different things in two different places in our argument, or our terms mean something different than someone's term in their argument that we're responding to and arguing in response to. So our terms don't mean the same thing, so we're equivocating. There's the fallacy of composition. So those would be some of the fallacies of ambiguity. Fallacies of unwarranted assumptions, such as begging the question, where we're assuming what it is we're trying to argue for, or false dilemma is another fallacy of unwarranted assumptions, where a dilemma is set up between two options that is really not a legit or warranted dilemma between the two. There's really not a dilemma there between the two, so there's a false dilemma there. And so in this unit, as you read through Layman, be thinking about your fallacy journal that is also due at the end of the course, where you will need to provide an example of each one of these from some debate, article, social media, and how it is an example of one of these. So be thinking of that as you're reading this chapter. And so in this unit, you have quiz 3, and it will cover the definitions of each formal fallacy. So you need to learn what these informal fallacies are and the definitions of them, and this is what the quiz will be.